This is slide 10 of our West unit, political foray. Let's continue our trip into politics here for the farmers. We talked in our last slide about the Grange and their failures, and the Greenback Labor Party and their failures. Farmers will next turn to a group that began in Texas in the late 1870s, known as the Farmers Alliance. The Farmers Alliance. And the Farmers Alliance is going to work to break the power of the railroads and the manufacturers through co-ops, cooperative buying and selling. They had a lot of people, more than 1 million members by 1890. Their slogan, they got a great little slogan here, raise less corn and more hell. They said farmers nobody pays attention to us. Their food is there when they expect it to be, and nobody pays any attention to us otherwise. So we need to get some notice brought to us. We need to raise less corn and raise more hell, because then people will take us seriously. So that's a great little slogan there. You can get behind that one. Farmers Alliance had great plans, but ultimately they too will fail. And they're going to fail for one really big reason, and it's of their own doing again, okay? Much like we see with the farmers all the time here. Their failure is their own fault. Okay? They ignore most of the farmers. Okay? The Farmers Alliance only reached out to and allowed to join their party white land-owning farmers. You had to own land in order to join the Farmers Alliance. Problem is that eliminates most of the farmers. It ignored the tenant farmers, those who rented land from somebody else to farm. It ignored sharecroppers, which is every black man in the South, basically. It ignored all the workers on the farms, not the ones who owned it, but just worked on the farms. It ignored all blacks. So if there's strength in numbers, the Farmers Alliance weakened themselves because they didn't let enough people join. This is their own fault. Okay? So when the Farmers Alliance fails, we turn to the most successful of all of our political groups here trying to help the farmers. And that was a group known as the People's Party, or more commonly, the Populists. Okay? Now, the Populists are a big movement here. This is a huge movement. Grassroots, back to basics, good, honest, hardworking, loyal Americans here. The Populist Party. Right? Now, their platform is going to sound very similar to a lot of other ones, but they're going to go even further. Right? Not only are they going to rail against the railroad owners, the warehouses, and all that, they're going to go a little further. They're going to call for nationalizing the railroads, meaning they want the government to take over the running of the railroads. Private railroad owners and companies have been screwing over the farmers long enough, they said. They want the federal government to take over the railroads and run them. Right? Nationalizing an industry means the federal government's going to take it over. Right? Here you see the little the political cartoon here. This is sort of the platform of the Populist Party. The abolition of, so the ending of, finance monopoly, transportation monopoly, land monopoly. So we got to do something about the banks, the railroads, and these big companies buying up all the land. Right? Now, the biggest part of their platform. Oh, wait, one more thing before we get to that. They're also calling for a graduated income tax, meaning that the opposite of graduated income tax, let's look at it this way. The opposite of that is called a flat tax. And at a flat tax, everybody pays the same percentage of their money, their income. Right? So in a flat tax, everybody would pay, say, 5% of their income in taxes. The farmers don't like that. Right? They want what's called a graduated income tax, meaning the more money you make, the more money you pay in taxes, the higher percentage of your income you pay. They think the rich ought to be paying more than they're paying, and that's going to be a popular stance that's going to get a lot of support as we go on. Okay, as I was saying here, the biggest part of the platform for the Populist Party, and maybe I'm assuming here, think back to your civics here, platform for a party is simply just what the party believes, what they're going to try to accomplish, what they're going to work for. Okay? The biggest part of the Populist Party platform was the free, unlimited coining of silver. Okay? If you think back to the Greenback Party, we said you can't just print more money without having something to back it up. And what backs up money at this time? Gold does. The populists are arguing, fine, if we don't have enough gold to back up money, let's start using silver, because we got a lot of silver in this country. Let's back it up with silver. Let's start coining silver dollars. Now, that's going to help them how? Think about it. If you coin more money, that means there's more money in circulation and easier for you to get your hands on some. And if there's more money in circulation, it's going to be easier for you to pay off your debts. But what happens when you have more money in circulation? That's called inflation, by the way. The value of it does what? Goes down. When you have lots of something, it's not worth as much. So the value of the money is going to go down. So if you hold the debt, if you're the guy people owe money to, you don't want your money becoming worth less. So you hate the idea of more money being coined. You want the value of the money to stay high. Right? Farmers, on the other hand, they want to coin as much as they can. So the Populist Party is saying, we want the free, unlimited coining of silver. Let's just start printing silver money so we can pay off our debts. Now the Populist Party, again, this will be the most successful of all the political groups here. In 1892, they are going to run for president, the man you see to the right there, James Weaver. Okay? James Weaver will be the populist candidate in 1892. He'll get over 1 million votes, actually win 22 electoral votes, all from farming states in the plains. Right? But the populists realize while this is a step in the right direction, it's quite an accomplishment, it's not enough. They're not going to be able to accomplish the kind of things they want just by themselves. The populists realize that they're going to have to reach out to another group of voters to get them to work with the farmers. And who else in the country would benefit if there was more money in circulation and a better chance of getting your hands on some money and then being able to buy things and spend that money? Who else would benefit from that? Laborers, the factory workers in the cities. So here you see the bottom of the page there, the campaign button, Uniting for a Farmer Labor Party. Farmers and labor, the manufacturers, the workers. Right? If the farmers and the poor workers in the city can get together, they might be able to accomplish something.